Hello again, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What's up, everybody? It's Sunday. Wow, September 24th already. It's my nephew's birthday. Happy birthday, Evan. Welcome to my live stream. This is A Friend in Every Corner, where mostly what we do here is just hang out and talk and meet each other. But I also will try to help you with your questions if I can. But I'm tired today. I'm really tired. So I don't know how long I'm going to be on my stream today, and I'm definitely only doing one stream today. But we're here now, so how's everyone doing? Hello, Miguel. Hello, Gunter. Hello, Yara and Fluke. How are you, my friend? Hello, Abdullah. Hello, Kiki. Hello, Reza. Nice to meet you. Hello, Anne and Layla. Hello, Monica. And I believe that was another Layla, if I remember correctly, from Russia. Hello. Hello, Ing. Hello, Serva. Hello, Mahdi and Parand. Hello, Mohammed. What's up, everybody? Did anybody get to see the talent show yesterday? Oh, I did remember correctly. Did anybody get to see the talent show yesterday on Samuel's live stream? Gunter saw. Thank you, my friend. Kiki, I'm sorry you missed it. But I did record it, and I just posted it to my I posted it to my YouTube. So if you want to see my part of the performance, I didn't record his entire live stream, but I did record the 3 songs that I did, and I just posted it this morning on my YouTube. Monica, 每天早上我爱喝冰咖啡。Thank you, Abhishek. I don't think I want to show the entire thing because it's like 25 minutes, but maybe I'll just show one little part of the performance yesterday. How about if I show one song? I did 3 songs. How about if I show you one? I'll just show you one. How about that? Hold on. Let me find it. Where did I put it? All right, let's try this. Hello, Yoshin. First, I'm going to just play a video from yesterday's talent show, so you guys can just watch one part of yesterday's talent show, and then we'll talk some more and I'll answer some questions and stuff. All right? So, check it out. So this is a song called Ain't Nobody by Shaka Khan. Carlos, I speak Chinese and English. I love this song, if you can't tell. Yeah, I love this song too, Layla. Anyway, it was fun. I love that song though. Yeah. That song came out when I was a kid, and even then I didn't play the drums when this song came out. But I just remember hearing it and it just feels so good. So anyway, as you can tell, I enjoy the drums. We don't have to watch the whole thing. How do I stop that? There we go. So that was from the talent show yesterday. Did I give gifts yesterday? I didn't. No, it wasn't my live stream. Samuel was the host of the live stream. And so I was just a guest performer. That's all. Yeah, it was fun, Bellin. That was fun. It's always really, really fun to do the performances on a live stream because it feels the same as it did when I was on stage. Because when you're on stage, you have to play as well as you can. You have to make it count. Everyone is watching you. You only get one chance. You get one chance to play the song right. You don't get to play it again. You get one time. That's it. When you're in a band, that's the job. You have one chance to play the song right the first time. And so I really enjoy being able to feel that sense of, it's not pressure. I don't know how to describe it. it's like flying. You're flying and you have to hold that position just right to keep it in the air or you'll crash. And if you really, really pay attention and if you're very aware, then you can fly very gracefully. Yeah. Anyway. I'm Yopi. Well, okay. Thank you, Bach. Who won? Actually, I don't know. Oh, I didn't even pay attention to who did won. Who did win? Who did won? Who did win? I'm not sure. Bellin? I don't know who won. Kaio wants me to play Slipknot. Kaio, Joey Jordison, the drummer that was the original drummer for Slipknot, he was very, very good at what he did. Unfortunately, he died very young. However, I'm not that kind of drummer anymore. Kaio, when I was younger, I grew up playing a lot of metal, a lot of heavy hard rock and metal. But I don't have those feelings anymore. That music doesn't resonate with me anymore. When I hear that music, it doesn't call to me at all anymore. I'm not angry anymore. When I was young, when you're a young guy, hard rock and heavy metal and heavy music, it makes sense to me. But then, I got over a lot of my anger and I couldn't relate to the world that way anymore. So anyway, not that they're not great. They are, and it's totally cool. If you love them, that's totally fine. I'm not trying to say anything bad about them or that kind of music. As I said, I grew up listening to that kind of music. I still love Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden is one of my favorite metal bands. I love them. Still. But yeah, it's kind of hard for me to pull together those kinds of emotions to play that music honestly. That's really what it is. Could I play a beat from a Slipknot song? Yes, I could. Could I do it as well as Joey Jordison? No. Could I do it honestly? No. That's the problem. Because I could play the beat, but I couldn't play it with the right emotions. And that's important. Otherwise, you're just faking it. Right? If you're just pretending, then that's not it. Yeah. So, anyway. I move my shoulders when I'm playing the drums. Well, I move a lot when I play the drums because, yeah, being a musician and being a teacher are similar in one very important way. If a teacher looks bored when he's teaching, then of course the students are going to be bored. If a performer looks bored when they're performing, then of course the people watching are going to be bored. So you have to authentically and honestly reflect the emotions that are happening in that music. So when you see me playing, I am in those emotions. Whatever emotion is in that music, that's the emotion that I'm feeling when I play. And if I don't, then it's not real. It doesn't feel right. I'm playing the beat, but not the music. I would love to go to Iran someday, Layla. I would love to go everywhere someday. Well, Belen, I wasn't actually a competitor in the competition. I was just the guest performer. I told them that it's not really that fair. I don't know for sure if everybody... Let's put it this way. Professional musicians don't usually compete in talent shows. Professional musicians don't. It's not fair. You know? So that's what I told them when they asked me, to do it, is I said, maybe I should just be a guest, and just play for fun. People can just watch and enjoy it, I'm not that great. I'm not trying to say I'm amazing or anything like that, but I'm just saying I do have 30-some years of experience playing music that lots of people don't have. So it's not really fair. It was my job. Hello, Patrizia. Why can you understand my English easily, but you can't understand English movies? Because English movies are not designed to teach English. English movies are designed to be entertaining. And I am designed to teach English. So I speak this way because I'm designed for it. I'm a teacher. It's my job. If you can't understand me, then I can't really teach you, can I? Right? Kyle likes classic rock too. All right, Jimi Hendrix is great. Love me some Jimi and Janis. Great. Gunter is very fatigued from moving furniture all Saturday. Why were you moving furniture all Saturday? Monica, 每天早上我也吃开心果。Yes, I know a little bit about Iranian instruments, Reza. Not a lot, but a little bit. Yeah, I've had many Iranian followers talk about it here before, and I've had a few Iranian followers perform even here. Do I play drums on every Saturday live show? No, Patrick, no. That was a special thing where they invited me to do a guest performance. Usually I just do a regular live stream like this on Saturdays. I do live streams occasionally where I perform and play drums. I'll post it and I'll say, 30-minute dance party. It'll be called a 30-minute dance party or something like that. And basically what it is I practice drums sometimes, and so sometimes I will turn on the camera and let you watch. And I put some music on and I play along to music, and you can watch me practice, basically. But not that many people seem to be very interested in it. What kind of music do I play? I play any kind of music. Am I talking slower than normal? Andrew, a little bit. Yes, because that's the proper way to speak when you're teaching. And it's the proper way to speak if you want people to listen to you. Rauf says, I'm always speaking with myself, but I can't speak with others. Yes, you can. You can. You're not, but you can. You just need to figure out how. Make a plan and figure out a way to trick yourself into speaking with people. So give yourself a reason to speak with people. Okay, so maybe every day you have to ask 3 questions. Every day you need to find out about 3 things from 3 people. Give yourself some task that you must complete every day that forces you to talk to other people. Thank you, Kaio. I do my best. You can't understand the Filipino English accent. Well, I don't know why. Most Filipinos that I know, actually, their accent is very American. Many of them. Almost all of my Filipino friends are, their accent is really very, very American. I've been to the Philippines, and tons of people there speak great English. I mean, really good. Yeah. Gunter, you're renovating the floor above. That's a lot of work, my friend. Wish I could help you. Teddy says, can you complete your book, I wonder? I'm still working on it, my friend. It's a lot of work. That's one of the reasons why I'm so tired, because my eyes hurt from too much screen time, from writing and doing streams and teaching. So I need to take more time off the screen. My eyes are... Some days I just can't even focus my eyes because they're too blurry. And yeah. Anyway, but I will finish the book. But, you know, have you ever written a book? It's not that easy. Are musicians born with a gift, or did they learn it by time? Muhammad, I would say that for the most part, when you see somebody and you think they're talented, it's because they worked hard. For them, almost all the time. Okay? Talent is whatever your passions are, whatever your interests are, pursue them, do them. Pursue means to chase. Chase after your interests. If you chase after your interests enough, that's what you call talent. So when you see somebody who's very talented, I see somebody who chased after their talent. They chased after their interest. They worked hard. Okay? All right, Bellin. My answer is delayed by about 3 minutes, Andrew, because there are 95 people here, and I'm trying to talk to all of them. And I don't talk fast, so you must be patient. Have you ever tried to talk to 100 people at the same time? Kelsey says, the pronunciation is right, but now I encounter a new question, how to make the link naturally when you're speaking. I think you mean like the rhythm of your words, and I know what you mean. Yes, this is a very common problem for many people who speak foreign languages. English, you have to learn how to pull the words and make them flow like music. Okay? Sometimes when I hear people speak English, if you're from another country, sometimes your rhythm is the problem. Your rhythm. So when you speak, you will use English that sounds like this. Hello, teacher Mark. It's nice to see you today. And sometimes when I'm going to the store, I like to blah, 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 blah. It doesn't sound together. So you need to think about your words like noodles. Pull them. Pull your words. Make them flow. Okay? Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. There are many, many comments that I have not yet read. I will get to them, but you must be patient. What is my plan about this English class today? Reza, today, this is A Friend in Every Corner is the name of this stream. And this stream is about me just talking with people and making friends and just connecting. And I try to answer some questions about English while I'm here. Okay? Which is better for improving English, reading or listening? Yes. My answer is yes. The best way to improve your English is both reading and listening. So, Rauf, which one is, let me think here. What's a better way to put this? Which one is better, Rauf, walking or running? They're not better. They're different. You need one for one thing. You need another for another thing. You can't say, oh, which one's better. You need them both. Tariq says, how come we think in English? I have some vocabulary and I have some grip on grammar, but I still... okay, so Tariq... In the beginning, yes, your grammar is going to be weak, and that's okay. And that's okay. Your grammar is going to be weak, and that's okay. You need to think about your brain like a baby. Your brain is a baby in the beginning when you're learning any new language. So in the beginning, babies don't care about grammar. Okay? Now, does that last forever? No, of course not. Of course not. But in the beginning, you need to start by thinking simply about things that you can think about. How do you feel? What do you like? What do you dislike? What do you want? What do you need? Simple things like that. Start with those. Those don't require difficult grammar. Okay? And then build on that. Build on that. Figure out what you can express and what you can't express and start writing those things down. Give yourself a little, it's going to be a big list, not a little list. It's going to be a big list of things that you don't know how to think about well in English. Okay? That's the beauty of learning how to think in a language. Yeah, it's hard. Because there are so many things you don't know how to say. But if you can get past your fear, then you can see that it's also telling you all the things you need to learn. Okay? Reza, I'm writing a book about my teaching ideas and my teaching methods, like what I was just talking about, how to think in English. Okay, Lillian, I'll bring you up in a little bit. Miguel, I'm sure I will have a digital book and a real book too. Both. Do you have any proverbs for the statement, limit your expenses according to your earnings? Let me think about that. Yeah, I'm sure there are. 1 minute. Let me see. You know, I don't know if we have an exact one for that, good soul, but we just basically say money doesn't grow on trees, you know, and don't spend what you don't have. Those are the two probably most common things that we would say for that. Okay? Okay. Right. Eating or breathing. You need both. Right. Exactly. Yeah. You know, I know everybody wants to find some way to look at this like a matter of efficiency, right? You're trying to figure out the fastest way to learn something. And I understand that. But if you really want to learn something well, then you need to stop worrying about learning it faster and start worrying about learning it better. So, that's why when you ask me, which one is better, I don't understand those questions because I always want to do all of them. I'm not ever trying to eliminate things in my learning because I don't look at learning like efficiency. I look at learning like proficiency. I'm not trying to be efficient. Efficiency just means you're trying to get it done as quickly as possible, but that doesn't mean you know it well. To be proficient, that means that you do know it well. Okay, but to be proficient, you can't think about learning like, how quickly can I get it done? You have to think about learning like, how can I do it best? Okay? All right. Let's see. So Lillian wants to come say hi to me. So here's what we're going to do. I have to keep people on a time limit because people said I'm I have people on the stage for too long. Somebody complained to me. So I'm going to keep everybody on a timer now. All right. Because I don't want to be on there for too long. So 10 minutes. How about that? 10 minutes? No more than 10 minutes for one person. Is that fair? I didn't want to do timers. Yeah, I know, Bellin, I didn't want to do that, but sometimes I guess people don't like it when I talk to people for a very long time. So, I'm going to say 10 minutes. Zachary, I think 5 minutes would be a little bit too short. 5 minutes is not really that long to talk to anyone. I can't even say hello to you, find out where you're from, and then boom, you're gone. So let's do 10 minutes. All right? 10 minutes. So I've got my timer here. So Lillian, you were first. Lillian, where'd you go? Lillian, what is the deal? You were just here. What happened? Lillian, are you here? Okay, well, I guess Lillian is not here. It seems like my internet connection is not very good today. Is it freezing up a lot for you guys? Is the connection kind of unstable today? No, it's okay? Oh, all right. Well, I keep getting these weird messages on my screen that it says it's failed, okay. I don't know what that means. So, okay, well, good. All right, if the connection's great, then never mind. Okay, so I wanted to bring up Lillian, but she's not here. So who else would like to come up? Let's talk to Bach.
Hey, Mark.
Hello, Bach. How are you, my friend?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. What's new? What can I do for you?
It's the first time I connect you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you. You're in China. Are you in Beijing or where are you? Shanghai, Guangzhou, where are you?
Shanghai.
Shanghai. Okay, great.
I'm in Shanghai.
Awesome. And you said you play drums too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And I'm curious about it. You are a musician, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's great. How long have you been playing drums?
I have a talent. I can do some, beatboxing. Use my mouth.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I teach every drum student I've ever had. Beatboxing is really important when you're learning drumming because my teacher always said, if you can say it, then you can play it. So, so we used to beatbox everything before we would try to play it. Because if you have the idea in your head of what it's supposed to sound like first, then it's much easier to get it to come out, when you're actually sitting down at the drums,
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah. And I know beatboxing is I think it's kind of popular in China now, isn't it?
Yeah. And I'm the Zhejiang province third name.
No kidding. Wow. Look at you.
Competition.
Wow. That's great.
Can I show it?
Yeah, absolutely. Please go ahead.
Okay. A little bit simple rhythm.
That's great. That's great. That's great. Okay, now wait.
Wow. Okay, I can copy your rhythm. You can do some drum rhythm. I can copy it. Come on.
Yeah. You do the rhythm and then I'll play it here.
Okay.
So wait, you just did wait, is it on? Let me see. Can I hear?
Yeah.
Oh, it is on. Okay, let me try that again.
Okay, meter. Yeah. Okay. Let me think. Yeah. Oh. Okay. You can do this. Yeah, drum and bass.
Yeah. Oh, I love good drum and bass. Let's see. Find the right beat. It's a good. Let me find the right sound.
Whoa! And you know what? You can do drum, but you can do the melody. I can do the melody at the same time.
Oh, but that's
Yeah.
the one problem is we can't do that because there's a delay. So
Yeah.
if I play here, you're going to be behind
A
me.
drum.
You can try.
The bass.
Yeah, we can try. I'll try. I'll play a beat. So here we go. Ready?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, see, it doesn't work
delay
because
here.
there's a delay. That's right. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only problem. I wish that I could do that because how cool would it be
Yeah.
if I could, I could play drums
Yeah.
here and you could do something across the world. But
Harmonies.
right,
Yeah.
but because there's a delay in the signal, this is going into space and then comes down on the other side of the planet. That takes too long. So it's impossible for us to play at the
Definitely.
same time. But it's fun to do if you record things, then you can do it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
And I can do some. Yeah.
go ahead. What are you going to say?
Can do some hip hop music. I
Okay.
really like hip hop music.
All right.
I'm gonna show you guys hip hop music like get the fuck up, Simon skate fuck up. What's the differences between me and you?
Wow, man, you're pretty good. You're
Crush
really
it.
pretty good. That's really good. It's amazing that the way you do that with your mouth, And
Thank you.
the other thing that's great about beatboxing is the way you do beatboxing is you have to move your mouth in many, many different ways to make all those different sounds, right? Well,
Yes.
if you can move your mouth that much to make those sounds, then you can move your mouth to make English exactly like me.
Wow, really?
Yes, because it's no different. Just like you're learning to move your mouth in different ways to produce the sounds, you just have to learn how to move your mouth like me to produce English. That's the
Oh,
same
really?
thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, when I speak Chinese, I have to think about moving my mouth differently. And if I don't, then I sound like an American. I mean, I always sound like an American speaking Chinese. But if I make my mouth smaller, then my Chinese sounds better. If I make my mouth bigger, then it doesn't sound right. Because English has a big mouth when you speak.
Oh, wow.
But
So I should speak English like this?
yes.
Use my mouth?
Yes, exaggerate. Exaggerate as much as you can. The more you exaggerate,
Okay.
the easier it will become. And then you won't have to exaggerate later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I
it's-
think your accent is so clearly.
well, it's just like with drums. When you learn drums in the beginning, I teach my students to make big, big motions. Big motions like this, right? Now, so the first beat they learn is going to be something like this. Right? Something just real simple like that, right? But if they play it with their hands down here, the motion is too small. And your brain doesn't like small motions. Your brain likes big motions. Big motions are easy for your brain to learn. Small motions are
Okay.
difficult for your brain to learn. So I teach my students to exaggerate.
Ah.
Now, are they going to play like that forever? No, of course not. The more they practice, their motion will get smaller. Eventually, it'll be nice and relaxed like this. But
Yeah.
the point is that the theory is the same. If you're learning anything that has to do with movements of the body and a language, language is moving your mouth, right?
Yes.
So that's a movement.
Yeah.
So the same thing is true. When you're learning movements, in the beginning, you should exaggerate, over-exaggerate
Okay.
your motion. And then as you practice, that exaggerated motion will get smaller and smaller,
smaller,
and smaller and more natural. But in the beginning,
Yeah.
you want to exaggerate to make sure you're making the sound correctly.
Okay, I got it.
So that's another
That's useful.
right. That's another principle that's from drumming that I have applied to language learning. You know, it's a weird
Yeah.
thing that music is a language, right? So I just tried to think about all the different things that are similar in music to language learning. You know?
Yeah.
And there are many, many things. Let me come back over there. Hold on 1 minute.
That's cool. I'm gonna think about it to cooperate with you.
All right, let me get my microphone back up. There we go. So anyway, that was just an example of, you know, again, exaggeration is important. I know it looks stupid. I don't care.
It's still did.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is when you exaggerate those things, yeah, of course that looks stupid. Nobody wants to play like that forever. That's not going to be forever. It's a technique that you use in the beginning to make sure that you're making the movements properly. So exaggerate whatever you're learning, right? So when I teach people to do the vowels in English, can you say the vowels for me? A-E-I-O-U. Go ahead and say them for me.
A-E-I-O-U.
Right. Now, when I teach people to say them, I say this. A-E-I-O-U. A-E-I-O-U. Do you see how big my mouth is? Yeah, really big, man, really big. As big as I can. The biggest motion that I can make because, again, I'm trying to exaggerate. Or there's the other sounds, right? Ah, eh, I, Ah, eh, I,
Different size.
Right.
Mouth.
And yeah, I teach all my Chinese students, 这是大的口 这是 中的口 yeah 这是小的口 yeah that's the way it works. And look at my mouth, the wideness is the same. Now, again, in real life, do I move my mouth that much all the time?
No.
No, but anytime that I really want to be clear with my speech, then yeah, I move my mouth more. Bach, I try to think about acting. And I don't mean movie acting, I mean stage acting. On a stage like Shakespeare, right? Because in those days, they didn't have microphones.
Yes.
And you might have a very big room with many people in it. So you have to learn how to speak very, very clearly and project your voice really well. Because maybe your grandma came to see you, but she's sitting in the back of the room, way, way back there. So the only way she's going to hear you is if you move your mouth and you speak very clearly like this. And now Grandma can see what you're doing and she knows what you're saying.
I can hear you.
Right.
But I can saw you.
That's right. You can see it and you can hear it. So part of the reason you can understand me better is also because you can see my lips. So you can see the words. Watch. Wait a minute.
Do I need what?
My name is Mark.
Ah. Yeah.
If you
Got it.
see it, then it helps. You can start to see, oh, wow, no, I know what he said because I saw the movement, right? But
Yeah.
if your mouth looks like this all the time, then you don't know what I said. Right?
Yeah, I used
So-
to say like that. Yeah.
Right. My nephews, I love them, but when they speak fast and they don't move their mouth very much. So they don't move their mouths very much. So they kind of speak like Well, if I talk more like this, yeah, it's kind of like this all the time. They speak like this all the time.
Like,
Their mouth
it's a little
doesn't
bit
move.
shy.
Well, it's not, but that's a good point that because if you don't project yourself, then maybe people will think you're shy. So,
yeah.
so again, moving your mouth also projects confidence. When you don't move your mouth, it kind of projects like you're scared, or you're not, you know, right? Yeah. So, again, exaggeration is good in the beginning, not forever,
Yes.
but in the beginning, you should definitely learn how to always think about learning something new by exaggerating it first. And then
Yeah.
in time, it will become more natural and the motion will get smaller and easier. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I'm more steady in my English expression, so I don't think I can do it from the start.
Yeah.
Like some words, yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, everybody, see, this is why I don't like the 10-minute limit, because Bach is really interesting and we just had a really fun conversation about music and everything, right? But 10 minutes is 10 minutes, and, you know, so that's why, right? See, it's funny, Miguel, right? Like I just said, I'm going to put everybody on a limit and we're only going to do 10 minutes. But see, that's why I don't like to do like limits, because if we're having an interesting conversation, then no, I'm not going to stop. Yeah.
But I
right.
think we have more chance to other boy. Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
Other body,
yeah,
they
absolutely.
give it a chance.
Yeah. So you can come up and talk to me again sometime, you know. And you can always, you know, ask me drum questions. I always like to get some drum questions sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, Bach. Well, and by the way, Bach is also my favorite classical composer.
Thank you.
So, all right, I'll talk to you next time, my friend. It was nice to see you, and thanks for coming on my stage. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, that was more than 10 minutes, but it was good, right? It was good. I couldn't help it. All right, let's see. Did I miss any comments? I'm sorry. Gunter, music has only 7 letters. You know, it has C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Yeah, it's 8 really. We think about music in terms of 8s because they're octaves, right? So you have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, 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 do. Those are octaves. Thank you, Alejandro. Okay, who else would like to come up and talk with me? I can come on your stage. David, I didn't know you had a stage. Okay, let's see. We have, is it hi? Hello, hi. Would you like to come on my stage? Hi. Oh, hi, doesn't want to come on. Okay, then David. David wants to come on. Hello, David. Hello, David.
Hi, Mark. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. Normal.
Good. What can I do for you today?
Actually, nothing special today. I read some book in English.
Okay. All right. You want to read for us?
No, I don't. I read.
So you just mean that's just what you did today. You just read some English today. So that's good. Okay. And David,
Yes.
tell us, what did you have for lunch today?
Rice and some vegetable. I didn't eat too much meat because I don't think eat too much meat is not very healthy.
Right. Yeah, sure.
For me.
So, David, one of the reasons why I like to ask all of my Chinese followers, what did you have for lunch today, or what did you have for breakfast or dinner, is because the way Chinese people talk about food is very different than the way Americans talk about food. So if you ask me, what did I have for breakfast today? I mean, I only had some nuts, but maybe I would describe my breakfast. I would say I had some fried bacon and sunny side up eggs
Orange juice.
with orange juice on the side and a little bit of toast, whatever. But the point is, when I describe my food, I can see the picture of what it is. But when you described your food, you said some rice and some vegetable and some kind of meat. I have no idea what that is, right? Because what vegetable? How was that vegetable cooked? Did you cook it at all? Maybe it was raw vegetables, you know? Was it raw rice? Did you cook the rice? Was it white rice, brown rice, purple rice? What kind of rice was it? And then what kind of meat was it? You know, you said you didn't eat a lot of meat. That's good. You described it as a small portion of meat. That's good. But was it duck? Was it chicken? Was it beef? Was it pork? What was the meat? Right? So, David, when you describe your food in English, it's a great time to practice because we describe our food a lot. So you should learn how to describe your food that way too. So you could say, I had steamed white rice. That's usually 这是白饭，你吃白饭吗？这是白饭吗？
Yeah, red rice. Yes,
So
steam,
yeah, right. So
steam
you could just say
rice.
I had steamed white rice.
Yes.
And what vegetable?
I cook, cabbage.
Cabbage. Right. So gali taima.
Cabbage. It's very sparkling fresh cabbage. I
Right.
cook.
There you go. Good. Good. You could say sparkling fresh steamed cabbage, or maybe it was fried cabbage, probably.
I learned this word sparkling from the recent English book I read. I learned this word sparkling fresh.
Yeah, you
fish.
can say that.
Sparkling.
Right.
Very good English word I learned.
Yeah, to sparkle. Well, for example, if you look at
Somebody described the plot.
do you see
She
these
described the
these drums
sparkling-
here? My drums, those drums, they sparkle. You can see the let me get one drum so you can see. Look at that. See how it sparkles? That's
Yeah, that
that's a
is
sparkle, right? And so when you put the word sparkle with fresh, when
Yes,
you put
I
those
know
words
the new
together,
meaning.
yeah, now it's a new meaning. And now it just means like very fresh.
Practice,
Yeah, right. Sparkling fresh just means like very fresh. Yeah.
Somebody described the plot, the fish, sparkling fresh fish, and very gentle, very step. I don't remember. I didn't remember. Stylish,
Stylish.
gentle, stylish.
中文怎么说？
滑
滑，
滑的
那个什么滑？
slipper.
Oh,
Slipper.
yeah, slip. Yeah. That's right. A slipper. Yeah. That's what it is.
Slipper. Yes.
That's
very
right,
gentle and
slippers.
slipper. And sparkling fresh fish. Yes, I learned such kind of word is very.
Those are good.
Very new for me.
Yeah.
It's new for me. It's useful for me.
And those are the kinds of words you should look for when you're trying to talk about food, right? So what you said you had cabbage. What kind of meat did you have?
I didn't have meat. a weekend on weekend.
Oh, no meat
I
at
don't
all.
like
Okay.
eat too much. Oh, just only oil, vegetable oil, and cook with cabbage.
Okay, so then you could say that I only eat meat sometimes. Usually I eat vegetarian meals.
Oh, vegetarian.
Yeah, vegetarian 就是素食. Yeah. So, that's one way to describe it.
I cook vegetable. I cook vegetable with oil. The oil is not animal oil.
It's
oil.
okay. So it's in America, when we talk about being vegetarian, there are two kinds of vegetarian. There's
I know. I can express. Sorry.
no, that's okay. Go ahead.
Somebody didn't eat even egg,
Right.
and somebody eat egg.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, there's some people who eat
different
eggs, and
type
then
of
there's some
the
people who don't.
vegetarian.
That's exactly right. So in America, when we say vegetarian, you can still have oil, you can still have egg, but if you're vegan means no. No egg, no animal product at all. Vegan is VEGAN. My sister is vegan. So vegan is when you don't eat any animal product at all, even the oil or anything like that. That's vegan.
I met somebody who came from Europe, Austria. He didn't eat meat, but he eat egg,
Right. Yeah.
scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
Scrambled eggs.
And then there's another kind. Sometimes we have people, they call themselves pescatarians. A pescatarian means somebody who doesn't eat meat, but they will eat fish. So they don't eat chicken or pork or beef, but they will eat fish. That's a
yeah.
pescatarian.
But he didn't eat pork and
Right.
beef.
That's
Only
right.
eat fish.
That's right. That's called a pescatarian. Yeah. So they eat vegetables. They eat vegetables and everything else, but they don't eat any other meats. They only eat fish. I think it's spelled Pescatar. Yeah, I think that's it right there. Pescatarian. Pescatarian.
Can you explain this word? Use etymology.
Etymology, yeah. So etymology means the history of words. Where do the words come from? Right? So 60% of English words come from Greek or Latin. 这是希腊的还是 yeah 对 yeah right or Roman right or from the Roman era
6% of words.
60% 60% yeah 60%
60%
yeah
的单词来自于
Yeah.
埃及和希腊。
Yeah, 60%. But then we have many other words that come from other languages like German or French or Spanish
French.
or Italian or Chinese or Hindu or Arabic. We have words from almost every language
I know.
in English.
I know one word from Chinese.
Which one?
Shanghai.
Shanghai, that's right. That's exactly right. That's a word that became an English word. Right.
It's Shanghai is kidnap.
That's right.
Meaning kidnap.
That's right. That's
right.
exactly right. Yeah, we don't really use it anymore, but
It's old English.
That's
I think.
right.
It's old English.
I would say in the 1900s, in the early 1900s, probably all the way into the 1970s, if you still said that word, people know what you meant. If you say that to some young kid today in America, they might not know.
No.
Yeah,
understand.
I think they probably wouldn't know that meaning anymore. A lot of young kids, I think, probably wouldn't have any idea. But I know, yeah. So yeah, but there are many other words that, like I said, the word ketchup. Ketchup actually comes from an Malaysian, Indonesian, Chinese dialect.
Ketchup.
Yeah, 番茄酱 Our word,
yeah.
ketchup is actually that's from a Southern Chinese language. That word.
Ketchup.
Yeah. And then let me think. The word algebra comes from Arabic, and the word cafe comes from French, and the word
French.
cafeteria comes from Spanish.
Cafe.
You know, we have so many different words from so many different places, and that's part of why English becomes complicated.
I need some word. I need some word in French. Temperature. Temperature also. In French, it's température. In English, it's temperature. It's very similar.
Well, that's because
Very similar,
so
but pronunciation is not very. It's not different. It's different.
that's correct, but there's a reason why many French words will look similar to the English word. That's because French, the language French, comes from Latin. And so that means that, again, just like English words come from Latin, French words come from Latin. So that means there are many, many, many words that I can look at them and I can say, oh, I recognize what that is. Like, I don't know French, but I know what that means because I can guess, you know.
The pronunciation is different.
Right, the pronunciation will be very different, right? Especially French.
Very
That's
different,
right,
yes.
yeah. But that's why etymology is one of the things. I usually teach etymology on Sunday. I was just too tired today. But that's usually what I do is I have a stream all about etymology. Because David, when I was in Taiwan teaching English, my students would learn the word submarine, you know, so little kids would learn the word submarine. But nobody would stop and talk to them and say, hey, the word sub means under, and the word marine means water. So, yeah, so they were learning the word submarine, but nobody was telling them that sub means under and marine means water. And that drove me crazy. That made me crazy. I was like, why are you not teaching them where this word comes from, the etymology? And etymology can be really, really useful and helpful and interesting.
If you learn sub, it's under, it's marine, it's water.
Right.
Maybe you can imagine some other words.
Right. Subway means the
Subway,
way that is
you
under.
can
The
learn
way that is under.
Many words.
Right? Yeah.
to see.
Subject, substitute. You know, there are a lot of subwords. There are thousands of them. Right? And marine, the word marina. A marina is a place where you put your boat, right? So if you need to, you know, where do you put your boat when you're done using it? You put it in the marina. That's where all the boats are. That's a place for boats is called a marina. Why? Because it's the place for water for boats, right? So, yeah, marina. That's a marina. A mariner. It's not a word we usually use that much anymore, but a mariner means a sailor.
Sailor.
Yeah,
Mariner is sailor.
Yeah, a mariner is a
not
sailor.
Modern word, I think.
So
It's old
that's right. It's an old
expression.
word. That's right. But submarine, mariner, meaning a person on a boat, right? So a submariner would be a person on a submarine. Yeah. So
Very interesting.
again, that was just one way that I thought this is just crazy. There are so many words that we could teach them that would be useful, but they just didn't make those connections. And yeah, that's why I don't like that anymore. And so now, yeah, I always try to teach people that it's important to learn words like pre, P-R-E means before. There are many words that have preview,
It's very
predate,
useful for
pre-read,
learning English, for extend
test.
your vocabulary.
Right. So this is what you just said is important. If you're going to try to learn English vocabulary, you need a system. There are too many words. You can't just do it randomly. You need a way to do it. Etymology is a great way, I think. It's a really
You
good
sort of
system.
the word.
Yeah. That's one system. I think it's important to have many systems when you're trying to learn vocabulary. But one great system that I like is etymology. So let me think. There was a word I just was thinking about. What was that word? Oh, so for example, the word freelance. David, do you know that word freelance?
Freeland.
Freelance.
Freelance.
Yeah.
Freelance.
Let me write it for you. Freelance. It's a very common word that we use today. A freelance worker means an independent worker. Somebody that's not working for a company directly, but the company might hire them, right? Like maybe a company needs more workers. They don't have enough, so they decide to find an extra person to bring in. That is a freelance worker, right?
I think you are freelance work.
Right, I am. That's exactly right. Yeah. Yes,
is that correct?
That is true. Yes. But where does this word come from? Freelance. Do you know what a lance is? What is a lance? Lance. Lance.
Land. It's land.
No, let me show you. I'll show you a picture. It doesn't have anything to do with land. Hold on.
Lance.
A lance. Do you see this thing? The thing that he's holding.
Oh my god. Warrior. Language warrior.
That's a warrior. That's a knight. That's right. It's a knight. And
a knight.
What is a knight? What is he holding? The big red thing he's holding? That thing is called a lance. Okay. Oh. And a long time ago, maybe you needed to fight a battle against an army and you didn't have enough warriors. You didn't have enough fighters in your army. So you need to hire some more. You need to pay some people to come fight for you. Those were freelances. They were workers. They were fighters who would fight for anybody that would pay you.
In the ancient time.
In old times, that's right. A freelance was a knight that would fight for you if you needed you could pay him. He needs more warriors for his fight. Okay, let's get some freelances. Right? How cool is that? Now you know that story. You won't forget that story.
Bodyguard.
Right.
Just like bodyguard.
Right. Kind of like a bodyguard, right? We call it
bodyguard.
Mercenary is the right word. A mercenary, that word, MERCENARY. A mercenary means a fighter who works for pay. They'll fight for anybody if you pay them.
Mercenary.
Yeah, a mercenary. Or sometimes...
Just like Mercury.
Mercury. The word Mercury and the word... Actually, that's interesting. Let me look at that. Let me see. Is there any relationship to the word Mercury and the word...
Mercury is liquid mantle.
So I use a website called etymonline.com, and I just found out they have an app now. So the word mercenary comes from French, which comes from Latin, mercenarius. And the word in Latin, mercenarius, means one who does anything for pay. It just means hired for pay. A mercenary is somebody who's hired for pay. But is that from the same word as Mercury? I don't think so. Mercury comes from
no any relationship between two words.
The Latin word mercurius. So no, those are not related. They're similar, but not related. They're similar spelling. But this is one thing that you have to be careful of. Etymology is like history. It's not always perfect, where we don't always really know. So, for example, sometimes when you find a word and you'll look up, where does this word come from? Sometimes they know for sure this is where the word came from. Sometimes they're not really sure. Maybe there's a few stories. There might be 2 or 3 stories that all could possibly be the true origin of where that thing came from. But nobody's really sure anymore because it's too late now, right? So you have to remember that when you study etymology, that there are 2 things to remember. One, it's not a perfect science. Sometimes there might be a perfect answer, and sometimes it might be a little cloudy. You're not really sure where the word comes from for sure. And then the other thing you need to remember is etymology works about 80% of the time. And when I say work, what do I mean work? The cool thing about etymology is if you know etymology, maybe you can recognize the meaning of a word that you don't know. So when I see words, I might see a word that I don't know this word, but there might be a tiny little part of that word that I do know.
Yes.
And that's etymology. Right. And so if I do know one little part of the word, then maybe I can guess the meaning. Right? But you have to be careful. So for example, David, I like to tell people about the story of the word malaria. Oh, hold on. Let me type it. Etymology
Malaria
is this. David, what you typed is entomology. Entomology is different. Entomology is the study of insects and bugs. Etymology is the study of words.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yes,
Insects.
Francisco, yes, cloudy means not sure. Yeah. Cloudy means like you can't see through the clouds. You can't see clearly through the clouds. Okay. So the word malaria. Do you guys know the word malaria? Malaria is a word that not everybody knows this word. When mosquitoes bite you, sometimes you get sick. You get a disease from mosquitoes, right? Malaria is the most common disease from mosquitoes. In Chinese, 就是疟疾
continent.
疟疾，你知道疟疾吗？
Malaria is
yeah.
very common disease in Africa.
That's right. That's exactly right. So, but the word malaria comes from Latin, and it comes from, the story is about Rome, the city of Rome. A long time ago, the city of Rome, if you go outside the city of Rome, it was very wet there. The ground was very wet. And if the ground is very wet, then what do you have a lot of?
Mosquito.
Right.
Baby mosquito.
Right. Yes. And but a long time ago, they did not know about mosquitoes and disease yet. They didn't know about that. But they did know if you go to this place, you get sick. And they knew that if you go to this place, the air does not smell good. Right? Because when it's really wet ground, the air doesn't smell good. It smells bad, right? So the word malaria, M-A-L, mal, means bad. Aria means air.
Oh my God.
So the Romans, they didn't know about the disease, but they did know if you go to the place with bad air, you get sick.
I know mal in French is mal.
That's right.
Illness.
That's right. So, for example, how many words do you know with the letters M-A-L in them? Malfunction,
Malfunctional.
malware, maladaptive, malnutrition.
Malnutrition.
There are so many mal words, and all of those mean something bad. So now if I see a word that I don't know, but it has the letters M-A-L in it, there's an 80% chance that is something about bad.
You can't get it. Yes.
Yeah. 80% chance. That's pretty good.
If you know mal, you can't get a bunch of words.
That's right. But look, Faye she just chose the word. She said the word male, M-A-L-E, right? But that word is one that is not from the same root. So I know it would be a great story if that were true, if the word male meant bad, but it doesn't. The word male comes from a different etymology. It comes from a different etymology, but that's what I mean, why it's not perfect, right? Because there's one example of a very common word, M-A-L-E, male, but that one doesn't mean bad. That's a different etymology. I know, you're just kidding. It's very funny, but yes. But that's just a good way. Or there are other words. For example, can you think of any words in English that start with the letters B-E-N-E? B-E-N-E.
Benefit.
Benefit, beneficial, beneficent, benevolent, benign. There are many, many, many words that have B-E-N-E in them, right? What does B-E-N-E mean?
Good.
Yeah. And if you go to Italy and you say bene, it still means good. Bene. Okay? So if you see any word in English that has B-E-N-E in it, you can guess about 80% chance that it means something good.
Good. Yes, you can read. Very useful for your reading English
Right.
book or English
Right.
story. It's
So
very
David, when I was 15, the first language that I tried to study was Latin in high school. And I took 1 year and I failed terribly because it's a very, very difficult language. It's really hard. And I was 15 years old. It was too hard for me. But
I can ask you a question.
I didn't do well at
can ask you?
yeah, 1 second. I didn't do well at the language, but I did learn about etymology. That's the one thing that I was I couldn't speak Latin, but learning about Latin helped my English vocabulary a lot. Yeah. So go ahead and you can ask me whatever you wanted to ask me.
Now in America, is there any Latin class in university or
Sure.
in primary school? Middle school,
Not too
or
many.
student?
Not too many anymore, but yes, there are some. Yes, it
younger
depends on where you go to school. Yeah. A lot of
Some school.
the private Christian universities, they definitely still teach Latin because Latin is a really important part of Christian history. Right? Almost all of the original documents, a lot of them are written in Latin. So or Greek, but anyway, and yeah, so the point is
In China, if we study biology, the student should learn some Latin, because if you publish the new space,
right. Yeah,
should
anything in
describe the-
medicine. Yeah, anything in medicine or science. Everything in science and medicine is in Latin. Yeah.
biology, botany. If you publish new specimen,
Right.
If you publish new species.
That's right. It's all
you
in
should
Latin.
describe in Latin
That's right.
language.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. We still base a lot of things on Latin. And it's really kind of funny because it's a language that's really old and no one really speaks it anymore. So it's kind of weird that we base so much of our grammar and our language on Latin. But yeah. Like I said, this is why etymology is useful for native speakers. Like I said, it was great for me just for vocabulary. But I think it's really, really useful for non-native speakers.
Non-native.
Yeah.
Non-native.
Because just the other day, I had a student last night who she was asking about, memorizing, and I told her how I just hate memorizing because it doesn't work. But if you can use etymology, for example, the stories are so interesting that you won't forget them. So it's easy to remember. Because they're interesting. Memorizing doesn't work because it's so boring, your brain wants to forget it. But if you find something interesting, your brain won't want to forget it. So, for example, I like to teach about the story of there are two idioms in English. A pig in a poke and
Pig in a poke.
let the cat out
in
of
a
the
poke.
bag. These are two English idioms that are related to each other. There's a story that makes these things related. So first you need to understand what they mean. A pig in a poke is an idiom that means you bought something, but you didn't really look at it or inspect it or check it to make sure it's good or right. Okay, so if you bought something without really looking at it first, then you bought a pig in a poke. Okay? But there's another phrase here, let the cat out of the bag. Let the cat out of the bag means to tell a secret, or that a secret was revealed. A secret was revealed.
I met this expression before.
Right. Yeah, you probably have. It's pretty common. Yeah. But there's a story about these two. Okay, so a long time ago, if you were in Europe a long time ago, let's say hundreds of years ago, and your family, you wanted to have dinner tonight, and for dinner, you're going to make a little baby pig, right? You know, you don't buy a big pig because big pigs are huge, right? You just have a small family, so you just buy a little baby pig. So you go to the market, la-di-da-di-da, I'm going to the market, and you talk to the guy at the market, and you say, 1 baby pig, please, and he gives you a bag. He gives you a bag because they keep them in bags, right? They don't have little baby pigs running around. They put the baby pig in a bag, right? And he gives you a bag, and you give him the money, and you go home, right? But you didn't look at the bag first. You just went home. Now you go home and you open the bag. And what comes out? Oh, there's not a pig in there. A cat. That's right. He tricked you. He tricked you. He put a cat in there and you bought a cat, not a pig. And now the cat is out of the bag, so the secret is out. So those two are related, right? How cool is that story, right? If you go to the market and you buy something without knowing what it is and you didn't look in the bag, you bought a pig in a poke. If you come home and you open it up and the cat comes out, now the secret is out. You let the cat out of the bag, right? So those are related. And my student was confused because she said, what does the word poke mean? I don't know. What is a poke? And yeah, that's weird because we don't use that word anymore. But a long time ago, the word poke, it meant a bag. A bag was a poke. Now, there's an interesting story about that too, because a long time ago, if you went to the market, David, if you wanted to take your money with you, how did you carry your money a long time ago?
I think with bag.
A bag. That's exactly right. You carried with a small bag, right? And then maybe you would tie that bag to your belt. You would put it on your belt or something right here, right? And a bag was called a poke, okay? And David, you speak French, right? So, David, if you see a word that has E-T-T-E at the end of it, what does that mean? E-T-T-E. Yes, small. That's right. It means small. So, David, a long time ago, hold on, let me find something. I need to find something that'll help. Where did I put that? Okay, so take a look. This is a little bag, right? This is a little bag, and you would carry your money in here, and you put it right here on your belt like this, and you'd carry it to the store.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if a big bag is called a poke, then a small bag was called a pocket.
Oh.
And the word pocket, does that sound familiar at all? Pocket. Does that sound like anything you know? Pocket. Oh, yeah, look. They took the bag, the small bag, and they sewed it to your pants. And now you have a small bag in your pants, and that is now what we call a pocket.
Pocket. Oh, yes.
So
Oh my God.
the word pocket. Pocket. Pocket.
Oh, yeah. Pocket from the pocket. Oh,
Right? How
here.
interesting is that? That's pretty cool, right? Yeah.
oh yeah. Really cool.
So there's, that's an example of how etymology is a much more interesting way to learn than trying
very
to
interesting,
memorize.
yes.
If you just tried to memorize the meaning of those, you won't remember. But if you know the story, you definitely will remember.
In ancient time, big bag is pock, and the big small bag is pocket.
That's right. Yeah.
And actually, eventually, it become the pocket.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. Just like the word cigarette. A cigarette comes from the word.
Is big.
That's right. A cigar. Cigar is the big one, and a cigarette is the small one.
Small one.
Right. Yeah. The same relationship. That French relationship is small. The ETT words. ETTE. Anytime I see an ETTE word, I know it means something smaller.
Smaller.
Right. This is all etymology. And it's really, really
We got
useful.
the pocket.
Yeah.
Pocket where the pocket is from. I got it. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I think I will remember this word
Right.
forever.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And like I said, it's weird because the word poke, we don't use that word anymore. A poke meaning a bag. Now, if we use the word poke, to poke someone means to do this. If you poke somebody, it means you use your finger to point at them like this. You're poking at me.
Stick somebody.
Yeah, with your finger. If you stick somebody with your finger, that's poking them. Don't poke me, okay? But the word used to mean a bag. It's a funny story. Yeah, I always liked that story. Yeah, and there are so many, many interesting stories with English. Not every word. Some words have really boring background, not really interesting at all. There are some words that are just not interesting. And there are some words that we don't even know really where they come from. We're not really sure where, not too many words are like that, but there are a few words that they're not clear about where that word really comes from. But etymology, I think, is fun. So like I said, I failed the Latin language terribly, but I did learn etymology. And from that day forward, I just remember thinking, wow, this is a really useful tool for vocabulary. Yeah. So anyway, David, I'm going to let you go, my friend, and see if maybe I can talk to one more person here today. But thanks for coming on my stage. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
You for me, I will remember this word forever.
Yeah. Isn't that
Pocket.
great? Yeah. All those things we got.
Combination the pock and et.
That's right. Yeah. All those things are related. That's what I used to tell the story. I used to tell people, I'm going to teach you how the words pocket, cigarette, a pig in a poke, and let the cat out of the bag are related. And then I would tell the story I just told you. And by the end, everybody is like, wow, that's crazy. All those words are related. That's funny. Yeah.
Thank you for your teaching.
You're welcome, my
Very-
friend. Yeah. All right. Well, take
Thank
care,
you.
David. I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye. And there you go. Francesco's got it. What does Pokemon mean? Pocket monsters. Yes, to poke someone now, Ibrahim, the meaning of the word poke now means to use your finger to Like maybe if you need to get somebody's attention on the bus, right? Maybe there's somebody, they're listening to their music too loud or they're talking on their phone too loud and you need to get their attention. So maybe you will poke them. Hopefully just lightly, not too aggressively. Okay? All right. Let's see. I have time to talk with one more person. How about Joy? Hello, Joy.
Oh my god.
Do you want me to turn your camera off? I'll turn it off.
Yes, thank
There,
you. Thank
it's
you
off.
so much.
No worries.
Because I've tiring day, so it's kind of it
It's
doesn't
okay.
look so good.
I understand.
Today for
it's
me.
it's nighttime in China. I know. It's okay. How are you? And what can I do for you today?
Hello, Mark, and this is my first time to come to your voice room. I was obsessed to what you taught to us. I'm so appreciated. And I have a question about English. That is, there are some nasal words in English, right? Nasal.
Nasal. You mean nasal,
Nasal.
words? Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Nasal. Yes, and I found it is so hard for me to pronounce nasal words actually because I was born in southern China and we don't have so much nasal pronunciation in our dialects. So, but I found that the nasal words in English will make me sound more fluent or more thick, actually, more natural.
Okay.
That's what I
Well,
think.
so let's try some, and you let me hear what you sound like, and then we'll talk about it. Okay. So, how about saying the word noon?
Noon,
That was pretty good. All right. How about when?
when,
That's
when,
fine too. Nose. Nose.
nose,
Okay, now
nose.
yours sounds fine, but Joy, I know many Chinese people that I talk to. I can hear when I hear their English, some of their words sound American and some of their words sound British. And when you say no, it sounds more like no. it's more British than an American no.
Yeah, you're right.
But
Because
like I said,
watched it.
that's right. Lots of Chinese people, they're kind of ipan. Yeah, half British, half American. And I can hear it when I hear them speak. Like some of their words are a little bit more British, some of their words are a little bit more American. It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, totally right.
Yeah.
So that's one of my question. Actually, I'm troubled by this problem.
Well, I wouldn't really worry about it. Personally, I think it's really interesting. Like I said, I've heard it many times now. I've been on, doing these live streams and I've talked to so many people in China, and I would probably say maybe 10 or 15% of the people I've talked to in China, they have a little bit of an American and a little bit of a British accent. About 10 or
Yes.
15% maybe. And it's because
Yes.
they've been learning both. They learn a little bit of both, along the way. And there's nothing wrong with that, I think, personally. I even think that maybe in about 15 years, it might be a new accent.
A new trend.
Yeah, because there will be enough people who have this kind of half and half American English accent that it will kind of be kind of the way, I think it'll kind of be recognized as a way that Asians speak English, because it seems to be an Asian thing mostly. That
Yes, because-
the half English, half American sound.
I have to tell you, Mark, our textbooks, when I was a child, when I went to the primary school, our textbooks used the actually the British version to teach us. But actually, in the real world, we watch the TVs, we watch the movies from America.
Right.
So
that's exactly right.
That's why.
Yeah, right.
That's why.
Right. And they don't really push you one way or the other. You know, like the IELTS test, even the IELTS test, I think is ridiculous. The fact that they want you to understand every kind of English accent is stupid. That's incredible. Americans can't do that. Native people can't do that. So it's silly that we ask you to do that. Yeah. So anyway,
it is kind of hard.
yeah, it is.
kind of hard.
But Joy, here's what I'm going to tell you. You're asking me about nasal words and everything, and here's what I'm going to tell you. You're overthinking it. You sound
okay.
fine. You sound fine already. Okay, Joy.
Thank you.
The purpose of language is not perfection. The perfect purpose of language is communication and expression. So if you can communicate and express yourself well, it doesn't matter what accent you have. It only matters if it's clear. So sometimes people, when they speak to me, I can't understand them because their accent is so strong that their words become unclear in English. That's a problem, and yes, that needs to be fixed. That's what I call sharpening your accent. I don't want you to lose your accent. You don't need to sound exactly like me. So many of you, many of you, you
that's
want
what
to learn.
I was taught, you know.
Right. You want to learn to sound like me. But here's the thing. Okay, let me explain. If you want to sound like me, you can. But it's going to take you about 10 or maybe 20 years.
Yeah.
But if you just want to have very clear English, that can be done in less than 5 years, less than 3 years for many people, less than 1 year for some people. Okay, so that's a much better goal. You don't need to sound like me. That's going to take you 10 years. You can sound clear in 1 year. Okay?
Yeah.
And you already do sound clear.
Well, I have to say my pronunciation actually it sounds clear, but also there are some other problems. For example, sometimes I don't know how to express English in your way. That's to say I've used Chinese English, you know?
Yeah. You're trying to
just say
translate
what I want in
directly
Chinese
from your
way.
mind. Yeah. Right. You have, so this is normal too, right? It's normal. In your native language, you know how to say something very well and very clearly. But now you want to say that in English and you don't have the same vocabulary and now you're frustrated. But the reason why is because you're trying to translate. Don't translate. Describe. Don't try to say exactly the same thing. Just try to describe it with the vocabulary you have. Okay? So think about this like art. Okay? Are you a good artist? I'm not a good artist myself. Okay? But if I draw a picture, if I drew a picture of a dog, would you know it was a dog? Yeah, you would. Okay, am I a great artist? No, I'm not. But I could draw a dog well enough that you could go, oh, that's a dog. That's how you need to think about your English. Don't try to say exactly the same picture. Draw a sketch. Just a sketch. Okay, just
use my words
Yeah.
to describe.
use your
explain what I
simple
want
words to
want talk
describe and explain it. That's exactly right. Yeah.
about. Oh, yeah.
That's such a big problem for people when they're trying to use a language because you're trying to translate everything, but you can't because you don't have the same vocabulary. So you have to approach language differently. You have to think about it not like translating. No. Describe. Just describe. Just try to use whatever words you have to describe something. So Joy, like I was telling people, I saw the movie Oppenheimer recently, right? and that's a great movie, but it's about very serious things. Can I think about all of those things in Chinese? No, my Chinese is not good enough for me to know that. I don't know the word for atom in Chinese. Okay? But I could say, 在地球每个东西里面有很小的东西. You know, and is that a very simple way of describing it? Yes. But do you understand kind of what I mean? Yeah, you do,
Yeah,
right?
I can guess that.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. You just have to describe it. Just describe it. All right. So if you guys didn't know, I was trying to say, I don't know the words in Chinese for atom, but I can use enough of my language to say everything in the world has very small things inside of it. Now, is that a very simple definition? Yeah, of course, it's very, very simple. But I'm pretty sure you'll know what I mean,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So actually, in the end, or in conclusion, language is for communication. So as
Right.
long as you can explain your meaning, explain what you want to express, then it's okay. You don't have to use special words or use something high level.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay.
Like Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, then maybe you don't really understand.
Yes.
So, and another good trick, Joy, is try to imagine talking to a group of children.
Yeah, make it simple.
Right. Because if you're talking to a group of children, you can't use big words. You have to think simply to describe it to them. So just try to think about how could I describe this complicated thing to some kids so they would get it. And then you probably have the vocabulary for that. All right?
Okay.
So, Joy, I'm going to
Just
let
like
you
we
go. But it was really nice to meet you and talk with you. And thank you for coming on my stage.
Thank you. Thank you for your teaching. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
so much.
Take care, Joy. I'll see you next time.
I'll see you next.
Sorry about that, everybody. I had to reconnect my internet. Thank you, Rana. Thank you, Joy. Nagar, I'm not sure what you mean. Maybe you need to talk to people in Hello Talk about it. Hello, Athena. Long time no see. How are you? Hello, Athena.
Hello.
Good to see you again. How are you?
Yeah, good to see you again too. I'm doing good right now.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. What's new?
I just got I got the certificate for teaching foreigners Chinese.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you. And yeah, I want to. What?
Nothing? No? So weren't you doing that already? Weren't you teaching foreigners Chinese already? Or did you just not have the certificate?
No.
Oh, okay. But now you can.
Not yet.
Okay. Well, now you can.
Yeah, now I can. I just my current job, I'm doing that.
Well, Athena, then the only piece of advice that I will give you is just that the reason why it was easier for me to learn Chinese was because Chinese grammar is not that difficult. And because,
Yes.
because Chinese grammar is not difficult, it means that I was able to learn how to think in Chinese pretty easily, right? Just using, then if you don't have to worry about the grammar, then it's just a matter of vocabulary. Do you know enough words? Because that's how I felt that Chinese was. Chinese is really great because if you just learn vocabulary words, just put them together. It doesn't matter. If you put the vocabulary words together, they probably will understand you. If you can pronounce them right, of course. But if you can pronounce them right and you can put the words together, then that's all you need to do. So that's the thing I would just tell you is anybody you're teaching, just tell them that they just need to start learning how to think in Chinese as soon as possible. Just start doing everything that they can. All their daily things, just thinking in Chinese. Yeah.
And talk with who speaks Chinese.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Talk with people as much as you possibly can. But the thing is, if you're like me and you live in America, I don't have a lot of chance to speak Chinese here unless I go someplace. And even then, it's not easy. So that's why you really need to learn how to think in a language if you want to practice that language, because you're not going to live there, right? You're probably not going to live there. Probably. Most people who learn a foreign language, they're not learning a foreign language because they're going to go live there. They just learned it for some reason. So that means if you learned French in high school and maybe you took a trip to France, that's great. But then if you don't think in French, then you're going to forget it all because you're never going to use it, right? So that's why it's really important to learn how to think in whatever language you're learning. And sometimes you just need to change whatever language you're thinking in to a different language so that you can practice that language. Yeah, that's the secret.
Yeah, that's great advice. So how about you? Anything new in your life?
Every day is just focused on working on my book, and it's going really, really well, but it's really stressful. And now, Athena, I need to take a break here soon because my eyes, I've been spending too much time looking at screens and doing my book and I'm always looking at a screen now. So today I'm going to work on my book, but I'm using a paper and pencil because my eyes, I can't look at screens anymore. I just need a break. Yesterday I had a terrible headache and I needed to lay down and my eyes were just blurry. I couldn't see well because I've been staring at screens too much. So
yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really good to see you and see you smiling.
You too. Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
We all have ups and downs, and that's just the way life is. And you know what, Athena? People who feel more feel more. So, I think that I'm the kind of person, and maybe you are too, we feel things deeply. And when you have deep feelings, sometimes it's, you have lots of really great ups, and the great ups are amazing, but you also have some pretty bad lows, and that's part of it, when you're, at least for me, being an artist, I can't live in the middle. I can't. I have to live on the extremes because that's where emotions are. Emotions are at the extremes, In the middle, everything's calm and comfortable. You don't need emotions when you're calm and comfortable. You're happy. You're content. But
maybe I should be an artist.
Well, maybe you are. Being an artist is not something that you do. Being an artist is just the way you look at things and how you feel about things. It's not a job. It's a way of looking at life. It's a different way of thinking. Yeah. Anything can be an art form if you take it seriously enough. I don't care what it is. If you're a plumber and you love plumbing, great. If you if that's your true passion and that's what you are really into, then that could be your art. If you take it seriously enough, anything can be an art.
Yeah, I agree. And thank you. I should thank you so much for last time. You know, you really, comfort me a lot. Yeah.
It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. We all need those sometimes, even me. I have those same moods, and that's why I understand. Okay? It's, again, when if you're a feeling person, you know, if you're a feeling person, that's just, it's a blessing and a curse, right?
Yeah.
When you're a feeling person, you have great emotions and you have great potential for emotion, but that means good and bad. You know, yeah. But that's just, you have to try to look at that like you're more open to life, and that's why it can hurt more, but it also can feel good too. Yeah. So don't worry about it. Just accept it. And yeah, it's all right. We have ups and downs. We have ups and downs. And again, like I said, Athena, I've been there. All right.
I hope. Yeah. You have your father. He helps you. He's psychologist, and so.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, you know, it's not usually really like that. Yeah, my dad does help me with a lot of things, but he's still my dad. So some things I can't go to him for. You know, like I just can't. There's certain things that he's a psychologist and he's a brilliant man and a patient man, and he's got great wisdom to give, but there are some problems that I can't take to him because of our relationship, you know?
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. So I don't always have that person. That's why I need friends. You know, friends are good that way. Yeah.
I hope I can do the same to you when you need someone.
And one day you will.
Okay.
All right. That's the way I feel when I do something nice for somebody. If I do something nice for somebody, one day I'll need something too, and maybe you'll help me then.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't think about those things. And if it never comes, it never comes. If the day never comes, I never need your help, great. But I still want to help you, because maybe the day will come that I need help, and then maybe you'll be there for me.
Yeah. Okay. I won't keep you on camera.
That's
now.
okay. That's all right, Athena. It was really good to see you. Thank you. And please send me a message too, because my phone, I had to do a full reset on my phone and I lost all of my Hello Talk messages. So I don't have your contact anymore. So I can't talk to you anymore. So message me, please.
Okay. I'll do it.
Okay. And it was good to see you, and I'll see you next time. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Take care,
you.
Athena.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Did I miss any comments? It's 11:30, everybody, and like I said, my eyes need a break. My eyes need a break. So I think it's about time for me to take a rest, go get some lunch, and start working on my book. But before I go, just for fun, I feel like playing a little bit more of the video from Ain't Nobody, because it's a great song. So this is a little bit of the performance from yesterday's talent show, and I'm playing drums on the song Ain't Nobody. Ain't Nobody by Chaka Khan. I love Chaka Khan. She's got great music. I love this song. This song just, yeah, the feeling. I can understand the feeling. So So here you go. Here's a little music. No, this is not jazz. This is, I would call this R&B. R&B pop. Anyway, Lanky, if that's not Chinese people's taste, then Chinese people need to get better taste. But Lanky, if you listen to Chaka Khan, you will like it. Chaka Khan is brilliant. Maybe you won't like all of her songs, but I'm sure you'll find at least a few that you like. All right. So again, everybody, thank you for watching and listening and following. Please follow. I have about 55,000 followers almost now. I don't know what's the number up to now. Let me see. How many followers do I have? 54,452, which is great and amazing, and I really appreciate it. But I do need more. So please, 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 like and follow, share, all that stuff. You know? Yes, Ibrahim, that video was from Samuel's live stream yesterday. That's right. That was the final performance. I did go to music school a long time ago. Yes. Okay, so, again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys Tuesday. Not tomorrow, but I'll see you guys on Tuesday. All right? Okay, everybody, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, wherever you are in the world, and thanks again for watching. And don't forget, be a language warrior. You're not allowed to be shy anymore. Okay, bye-bye.